G'day everyone and welcome back to the Poke Australia YouTube channel. I'm Jordan David and we are back with round 3 of the South Australian Regional Championships. Apologies on the gap of the uploads. I've been feeling a bit sick, still feeling a bit under the weather at the moment, but I'd figured we'd get these games out as soon as possible so we can start to upload the Melbourne Regionals as well. So today we've got David Patane on the left playing YZG versus Matt Masefield on the right playing Dragon Rayquaza, Mega Dragon Rayquaza. Very interesting matchup. This could go either way. I think this is probably Matty's 50-50 matchup, if there is one. And that's because of one card, which I'm actually not sure if David does play in his deck, and that's Zoroark Break. If David plays it, it could be the difference maker in this game. Just being able to copy the Dragon Rayquaza's attack to hit for 300 is huge. If David doesn't play it, it kind of sways back to Matty's favor, because he's going to be hitting those higher numbers. However, even normal Zoroark can do a lot of damage against Rayquaza, and if David's able to trade one prize for 2 with Matty, then he'll be in a good position. Matty's going to start this game. We're going to see the Shrine of Memories come down, Fire Energy onto the Dragon Ray, and just a Sycamore. We see the Spirit Link coming down. He's got an Ultra Ball in hand. He could probably dig a Shaman here. Which it looks like he's going to Ultra Ball away the AZ and the Giratina. And he's looking like he's going to take that Shaman. David starts with 2 Eviltolls. I don't think Eviltoll's too big of a threat to Matty. He can easily hit for that 130 with Rayquaza EX's second attack, which allows him to hit for 30. He flips a coin. If it's tails, then he can't use the Dragon Strike attack during his next turn. But Matty does have ways around that as well with Hydreigon and switches. He plays plenty of those in his deck, so he's easily able to get around it. We're going to see another Ultra Ball getting rid of the Birch and the Sycamore. Might even just take another Shaman here just to draw more into his deck. He's probably searching for the Reshiram and Hydreigons here, but he doesn't really want to Ultra Ball for them. And he just probably feels like using Shaman to draw some more cards. Maybe the Mega for next turn would be nice. Hydreigon comes down, another Rayquaza comes down, and Matty's going to retreat into this other Rayquaza. And that'll probably be his turn. He's got the double Dragon Energy in hand. He's got a VS Seeker for next turn. And let's see what David has here. Looking at his hand, he doesn't have much going for him. I see a Lysander, a Puzzle of Time, and a couple of double colors. So he's going to see a Puzzle of Time. I think we see a Trainer's Mail, a Battle Compressor. I can't make out that final card that he ends up putting on top of the deck. He's debating playing this double colorless. Maybe he'll put this down on the active Eviltoll to retreat in future. However, if he's feeling like that Eviltoll's going to get knocked out this turn, maybe it's best to just put it on the bench one, which he does. The Lysander's the Shaman and pass his turn. Reshiram comes down, switch for Matty, Turbo Blaze, Double Dragon, VS Seeker for the Sycamore. Everything went right for Matty then. So Matty will be taking a knockout on this Eviltoll here with the Dragon Strike attack. Puzzle of Time from Matty. And we see Rayquaza, Fire, and another card which I can't make out. Probably doesn't really need that Rayquaza at this point. His bench is full. Alrighty, so he's going to retreat into that Dragon Rayquaza. Hit for the knockout, and I can't make out if he flipped heads or tails there. It looks like he flipped heads, so he can attack next turn. Use the Dragon Strike attack next turn. And David is able to get the Ultra Ball, so you probably put that at the top of his deck here. And he'll probably just take the Shaman and just draw some more cards. That's probably his best bet at this point. I think I caught a glimpse of the Zoroark Break, but I'm not positive. I think I saw also Seismitoad EX, which in early game against this deck, against Matty's deck, could be pretty good. If David's able to start with the Seismitoad and slow Matty down by stopping him from using these switches, these Puzzle of Times, and these Spirit Links, as well as just, the usual Ultra Balls, VS Seekers, that could be very good for David. Matty would have to rely on getting everything down first turn, and if not, then he's going to start getting Quaking Punched. He's going to miss the turn to attack for a Mega Evolution. However, once Matty does get up that Mega Rayquaza, Seismitoad EX is pretty irrelevant. Mega Rayquaza is just too good against cards like Seismitoad with its wild trait. It takes 20 less from the water type that Seismitoad is. And it's also hitting for 300 damage, so it's pretty hard for Seismitoad to get around that 300. So we saw the Lysander on the Shaman once again hit for 30, and Maddie's just going to attach retreat and hit for 130 again. So even if Maddie flipped tails last turn, it wouldn't have mattered too much. Because he's gone to the bench, the ability resets, we're going to see the vsing for the Birch, and he's going to play it. Maddie does play a lot of shuffle draw in his deck, just so he doesn't have to discard cards such as the Rayquaza Spirit Links, the Megas, the Double Dragon Energies, all these crucial cards. He does play Puzzle of Time to bring them back, but sometimes Puzzle of Time isn't the most reliable card to recycle cards in your discard. We're going to see another hit for 130. It looks like he did flip tails there. David doesn't have much in his hand. He's got the VS Seeker, he's got the double colors, but I don't think he's got anything past that. So double colors on the Shaman, VS Seeker. Looks like he's going for a Sycamore there, but I don't think he's got one in his discard. He's only got that Lysander. So this is a pretty reversible thing here, but it looks like David's just going to scoop anyway because he probably wasn't able to stall Matty out long enough. All Matty would have needed was a Fire Energy to retreat and he would have had the game. I think in this situation, if David wanted to continue playing that game out, we know that Evil Toll was knocked out, so David could have easily just taken his hand back, which was on top of that Evil Toll, and just continued playing, but there was no way around Matty just taking the game next turn. So we're going to head into game 2. Both players are just going to shuffle up. David just got unlucky there with the draws. He wasn't able to draw into anything. Having to Lysander a Shaman twice in an attempt to stall is very unfortunate. It sucks that he couldn't Lysander up one of those big dragon Pokemon with a high retreat cost. If there's a stadium out, Hydreigon just makes these dragon Pokemon have almost free retreat, a lot of them. So both players going to shuffle up. I'm assuming David's probably going to want to go first here. A lot of cards in David's deck are actually quite useless in this matchup, such as the Gallade. Gallade doesn't have too much of a purpose in this match. I think the big hitters for David here are going to be Zoroark, Yveltal EX, and if he plays it, the Breakthrough Yveltal, sorry. That Friday Night Yveltal can be pretty big if he's able to shut off those tool cards from David, from Matty, and Matty isn't able to use those Spirit Links and he has to waste a turn to Mega. Also, Matty tends to bench a lot of Shamans when he plays this deck, so if David's able to hit a couple of Pitch Black Spears on some Shamans, then he might be able to take a double knockout at some point. So it looks like Matty's once again going to start with the Dragon Ray, but it also looks like he had a Reshiram in hand, so it looks like he'll probably start with that. It's his preferred starter. Reshiram just allows him to use the ability Turbo Blaze to attach Fire Energies onto his bench Dragon Pokemon, or his bench Pokemon, and he just uses that to power up that Rayquaza. Matty's hand isn't looking too good, however. 2 Double Dragon Energies, a Fire Energy, and the Sycamore. He really doesn't want to Sycamore away those Double Dragon Energies. They're usually what he'll discard with the Mega Rayquaza. So David does mulligan once. It doesn't look like he's done it again. He's got the option of a couple of cards there. Looks like he had Seismitoad and Yveltal. He's opted to start with the Seismitoad. As I said, that could be a pretty big card, just allowing him to slow Matty down. And yep, we're going to see 2 Reshirams from Matty to the 1 Seismitoad from David. Alright, so David does look like he's got a lot more options in this hand than he did in the last. We're going to see the double colors come down on that Seismitoad. An Ultra Ball here. Probably going to take the Shaman with this one, but we'll just wait and see what he discards with it. He's got another double colors in hand. It looks like he's got Pitch Black Spear Yveltal. We're going to see him get rid of normal Yveltal, XY Yveltal, and the Maxie's Hidden Bowl Trick. I'm trying to see if he does play the Break, and I didn't see it there, so maybe he doesn't actually play the Zoroark Break. But I still think normal Zoroark in this matchup is a pretty big player. If Matty does bench out his entire field, he usually does play down all 5 bench spots. So Zoroark can hit for a decent amount of damage, not enough to one-shot the Mega Rayquaza. Yveltal EX is coming down. And I'm not sure if David's got much else in his hand. He's got a VS Seeker that's pretty relevant. He could Trainer's Mail, or is it a Puzzle of Time? I can't tell if it's a Puzzle of Time or a Trainer's Mail in his hand. No, it's going to be a Puzzle of Time. Do you see the Battle Compressor? So he is able to put that at the top and then VS Seeker for something next turn. That's a possibility of his. And he's just going to pass on to Matty. So Matty will probably want to be doing as much as he can this turn. Just because if he's going to be item locked next turn, he wants to have the Spirit Links down. He wants to have all of the important cards, important item cards down this turn. So he doesn't run the risk of not having access to them the next. And it looks like if that Sycamore he didn't actually draw into anything too good. So we're going to see the Scorched Earth being played. Discarding the Fire Energy. You're going to see an Ultra Ball, away a Giratina, and a Professor Sycamore. Maybe take the Hydreigon here, allowing him to free retreat into that Reshiram. And Turbo Blaze once again. And then if he's able to draw a switch, he'll be able to hit this Seismitoad EX for 130 damage here. We're going to see double Puzzle of Time from Matty. I don't think there's too many cards here he wants to, needs to take. Probably just take that double Dragon Energy, maybe the Sycamore if he doesn't have a supporter. Or also Ultra Ball just to thin his cards even further. I didn't quite see what he grabbed there. I think the Double Dragon was definitely one of the cards. David's just asking what he took. Sycamore and Fire Energy. So he didn't actually have a Fire Energy in hand, so he needed to use the Turbo Blaze here. And we see a Shaman to draw 3 cards. Matty was digging for the switch, and it doesn't look like he's hit it. He drew another Shaman, which, if he plays that last Shaman in hopes of drawing the switch, then he's benched out, he's got no more space. Oh, he does draw into the switch. So he's going to retreat into the other Reshiram by the looks of things. So maybe he didn't want to hit for 130 this turn. And instead he was just kind of digging for that Spirit Link, which he ended up getting. Good to see a Battle Compressor from David. He'll probably end up just getting rid of the important supporters that he wants and the Gallades. They're pretty useless in here at this point anyway, the Gallades. They're not hitting for enough damage for David to worry about getting them in play. So just putting them in the discard so you're not drawing into them later in the game is very important. Looks like he's going to get rid of them. Might also get rid of like a Lysander here as well by the looks of things. Possibly going for a Lysander play on a Shaman, making Matty have to manually attach. Mega Rayquaza does need 5 energies, so this could slow Matty down, and judging by the fact that Matty had to puzzle a time for the Fire Energy last turn, David's probably thinking to himself, maybe he doesn't have that energy to retreat, and he can stall out with that Lysander on a Shaman. Which we are going to see the VS Seeker for the Lysander on a Shaman. And just a Quaking Punch for 30. Alrighty, on to Matty's turn. No more items for him here. Going to see the Mega coming down. Double Dragon Energy down. And I think he's got a Sycamore in hand. The question is, does he want to play it? No, he's just going to pass turn. David's going to put a Dark Energy onto the Evil Toll. Now, interesting thing to note here is that Shaman now has 60 damage on it, which means Pitch Black Spear is going to be able to chip off that Shaman on the bench at any given point. I don't know if Matty plays an AZ or anything, but we are going to see the knockout now on that Seismitoad with the Mega Rayquaza. David's going to look at putting up that Evil Soul Axe here. He's got the double colorless in hand. Now, if he's able to get a Fighting Fury Belt, he will leave that Mega Rayquaza with exactly 60 HP. Next turn, the following turn, he's going to be able to Pitch Black Spear for a double KO and take 4 prizes. So he'll be able to bring himself back into this. And Matty's benched out. Matty doesn't have a backup attacker at this point, unless he decides to attack with the Reshirams, which could be a play for him, but we are going to see that Fighting Fury Belt here. So he is going to leave that active with just 60 HP remaining. And then Shaman on the bench with 60 as well. So Pitch Black Spear next turn is Gonna take 4 prize cards unless Matty's able to counter it. If he's got the Lysander, it's probably best for him to bring up that Pitch Black Spear Evil Toll. But in saying that, that also means that his Mega is going down. Maybe it's if he can get the Shrine of Memories. I don't even think that would help him at this point. We are just going to see the Reshiram. Switches into the Reshiram, sorry. It looks like he's going to retreat into the Mega Rayquaza, so he's just going to leave that Reshiram there until he does that. It's just easier for him to do that instead of moving that Mega Rayquaza to the back and then just to retreat it later in the game, or later in the turn. I'm going to see the Sycamore from Matty. I'm not too sure what cards would really help him here. He's probably looking for the Lysander, because if he's able to power up that bench Reshiram, he's already put the double dragon energy on it. If he's able to power it up, he will just be able to Lysander a Shaman to take his final 2 prizes. We're going to see the Ultra Ball here for the Rayquaza. He's going to put that on his bench. His bench is actually full. I hope they pick up on that. And it does look like David has picked up on the bench being full, so that Rayquaza is going to hand. And he's going to retreat that Reshiram now and hit for 300, putting himself down to 2 prizes. But as I said earlier, Pitch Black Spear's taken 4 prizes this turn, and Matty doesn't have doesn't look like he's got a way of getting around that. I think 3 double dragon energies are now in the discard, 3 or 4. No, there would actually be 3 in the discard, 1 on that Reshiram. He's Sycamore 1 away in the beginning of the game, so there's no more double dragon energies. He's already played a double puzzle a time. I don't think he's played any other puzzle at times, but he's only got 2 left in deck if he hasn't, sorry. So even then, that's very risky for him, and David could be making the play here that just solidifies his victory by battle compressing away the Giovannis and the Hex. If he's able to VSC for the Hex, which he doesn't do, VSC for the Hex pretty much would have guaranteed him the win, knowing that there's no more double dragon energy in deck for Matty. He wouldn't have been able to use multiple Turbo Blazers to then Lysander that Shaman on the bench. But Matty doesn't have it, so we're going to see a judge here. Maybe the judge can slow David down a bit and buy Matty some precious time here. That Shaman on his bench will be the target of a Pitch Black Spear next turn. You're going to see the puzzle of time, and it doesn't look like those other cards that Matty's really needing at this point. He's going to attach the lightning energy down. Maybe that should have gone on the Reshiram. But I don't think he's got the Lysander and all the other cards necessary to pull off that Shaman knockout. So maybe he was just trying to power up this Rayquaza EX because it can actually knock out this Evil Toll EX to stop it from hitting the Shaman for another 60 on the following turn. It'll definitely be the target for a Pitch Black Spear this turn. And if Matty can't get around it, he will lose game number 2. Let's see the double puzzle from David. I don't think there's too many cards in his discard pile that he really needs. Hexmania is probably the biggest one here. And yeah, it looks like it's just going to take the XY Evil Toll. I don't think that second card matters too much. Hexmaniac just basically means we're not going to see any Turbo Blazes next turn, which means Matty won't be able to knock out this Evil Toll. Judging from what I can see here at the moment, looking at the board, yeah, it doesn't look like things are looking good for Matty at this point. I can't see a way Matty can get out of this. He does play the Mega Turbos, which he has in hand, so if he's able to draw into the Mega, land a Mega Turbo, but even then, he's got the Shrine of Memories. So what Matty would need is a way to get back the Double Dragon energies, that Mega Turbo, and the Mega, to then use the Shrine of Memories to attack with. But I don't think he's got that. He's going to Birch, flips Tails for 4, doesn't draw the cards he needs, and he's just going to scoop. Game number 2, so it looks like we're going into game 3 here. Matty will probably start. So yeah, that Seismitoad EX early on was very helpful for David. I think he only was able to land a Quaking Punch once or twice, but it's still very crucial to him. Just that one turn where he can slow Matty down is very good. So he'll be looking to do that here in game number 3 to close out the series. I think that's probably his best bet against Maddie's deck. We haven't seen a single Zoroark come down from David, so that does make me think that he doesn't play the break. But maybe he does. I haven't really had the chance to look at his entire deck when he's going through it. It's very hard to see the breaks, but I don't think at this point he does play it. Otherwise, he probably would have digged for the Zoroark in that game, just because it's so good in this matchup. That Zoroark break, the foul play to copy the Dragon Rayquaza's attack, and hit it for 300 to just get the knockout is fantastic. Alrighty, so both players are just finishing shuffling up here. And they'll look at beginning the game very shortly. Alrighty, both players just going to cut each other's decks and get things started. Game number 3. Looks like Maddie's going to start with that Reshiram in hand, which is very nice for him. It's his preferred starter for most matchups anyway. I don't think there's anywhere it really isn't unless your opponent flips over a Wobbuffet to start with. But here we go. Game number 3. David starts Yveltal EX, which isn't the best of starters, just because it's a pretty big target. It's an EX. If Maddie's able to quickly get a Mega Rayquaza going, he'll be able to hit a quick knockout, but it looks like Maddie's just going to pass. He doesn't have much in his hand at this point. We see an AZ as one of the cards, a Fire Energy, and it looks like David's also going to pass. Neither of these players are drawing cards. David does have the Judge, but he really just doesn't want to play it, so maybe he's just getting enough energy so he can start hitting these Reshirams for knockouts. That could be a possibility. Knowing that Maddie's got that AZ though, he's probably just going to pick it up to heal it and keep a Reshiram alive long enough till he can draw into some better cards. So there's a shot for 90, and AZ's that Reshiram, and he's just going to promote the other Reshiram. He does have the Fire Energy 2 Turbo Blaze if he wishes, but he's opting not to. It also looks like he does have that Mega Rayquaza in hand. And not much else though. Looks like David is just going to once again hit for 90 damage. And I think Maddie drew the Sycamore there to draw out of it. So now David will probably look at playing that Judge. He probably just didn't play it earlier just because he didn't want to give Maddie that fresh hand. And Maddie's going to play down 2 Rayquaza EXs. I don't know if that was a Turbo Blazer attachment for hand. I don't think it matters too much. And just a pass. He does have another Sycamore in hand. He's going to Mega Turbo, which isn't too helpful, seeing that he doesn't even have the Spirit Link on that Rayquaza. It'll be interesting to see what David does here. Does he go for the Judge to slow Maddie down? Yeah, he's going to go for the Judge. If David's not able to draw into another basic, however, that could be very scary for him. Maddie might be able to easily get out a Mega Rayquaza EX next turn and start hitting for the knockouts. He's got the Reshirams in play to do it. So if David doesn't draw a basic, he could be in a bit of trouble. And it does look like he's drawn into that base XY base Yveltal. So we are going to see that come down. A Trainer's Mail. For the Sycamore, he does also have that Puzzle of Time, so he can look at the top 3 cards and choose which cards he's going to draw into next turn. Or alternatively, hope to tough deck another puzzle and just wait it out. It's probably best to just play that puzzle. He knows he's probably going to Sycamore next turn. So playing that Puzzle of Time will allow him to check out the top 3 cards, but we're going to see just the attack for 90. Actually 100 with the Fighting Fury Belt. Darkness Energy going to XY base Yveltal. We're going to see the attachment going to the Rayquaza without energy, and a Turbo Blaze to that other Rayquaza. And just a bunch of observations here. So Maddie's still not being able to draw into the Mega. He's just going to once again be forced to pass turn. So this is really David's shot to get a couple of things going and start knocking out these Reshirams and these big EXs. Gonna see a Battle Compressor from David. Probably just thinning his deck, getting rid of those Gallades. As I said in the last game, they're very useless here for David. So it looks like he's going to get rid of 1, and Maxie's can't make out that last card. I think it might be a Hex Maniac. but I'm not positive on that. It does look like a hex, and we're just going to see the Sycamore here, discarding that puzzle of time. And David does need the Dark Energy here to attack, so he's going to play that down. I'm not too sure what else he really has in hand that he can do this turn. Doesn't look like he's got a whole lot going for him as far as his hand goes, but he's still in a comfortable position where he doesn't need to panic. You're going to see a puzzle of time here. He's got the VS Seeker there as one of his cards. He could get that to once again like play that Hex Maniac or something to slow Matty down even further. But it didn't look like he put that VS Seeker on top of his deck. You're going to see the Floatstone, I think, or Fighting Fury Belt come down inside Evil Toll. I know he plays one of the two onto an Evil Toll. He's just going to shame it into those cards that he used Puzzle of Time for anyway. So he's just playing that Puzzle of Time to thin his hand to draw more cards with the Shaman. Going to see the Trainer's Mail now for a Fighting Fury Belt, probably going onto that other Evil Toll on the bench, the XY base Evil Toll. It doesn't matter too much, but it does also mean that Matty's going to need to commit a Mega Rayquaza's attack to knock out that Fighting Fury Belt Evil Toll. And we're going to see another hit for 100 to that Reshiram. And a Double Dragon comes down, VS Seeker for the Birch, and he plays the Birch. And it looks like he's flipped Tails, so that's not good for Matty. He is able to hit for 130. We're going to see the Turbo Blaze there. He's able to hit for 130 if he wants to. But then he's got like 4 energies sitting on that Rayquaza. You know, that Evil Toll can easily do enough damage. I don't think it would be a knockout. I don't think it is a knockout, but it's very close. I think it's 10 off from being a knockout. So like if David plays the reverse values, he would be able to knock out that Rayquaza. So Matty's just going to risk this Reshiram. And it also looks like David's thinking of retreating. It doesn't look like he had the energies there to attack or a way of getting those energies to attack once again with the Evil Toll EX. Or maybe he's just trying to play it safe. Go into that XY base Evil Toll. It's a knockout anyway. So maybe he's just playing it safe here. You're going to see the VS Seeker looking at that Hex Maniac. And he's going to play the Hex Maniac. And there is the knockout on that other Reshiram. So Matty is, unfortunately for him, dead drawing at this point in the game. He's not able to get many things going. Let's see the VS Seeker here. And falls the Sycamore, so he's looking for something big here. No, I don't think he drew the Mega. And I think this is actually the Floatstoned Evil Toll. I can't really tell. It could also be Fighting Fury Belt. It's tough to tell. Just not being able to see the front of the card. Going to see an Ultra Ball from Matty. Getting rid of the Scorched Earth and the Giratina. Giratina is not too helpful in this matchup. Whilst David does play those double colorless energies, that XY base set Evil Toll is very helpful for David just recycling basic energies, and he can get away with having those basic energies. And Matty actually drew into an escape rope, so I don't think that is the Floatstoned Evil Toll active. So now David's got a tough choice to make. He can put up the Floatstoned Evil Toll, it's going to get knocked out. Puts up the Shaman, gets knocked out. Puts up that Evil Toll EX, it's stuck there. So it looks like he's just actually going to go for the Mega Evolution instead. So Matty could have taken a knockout there. Instead, he's gone for the Mega Evolution. David looks like he's put enough Dark Energy onto that Evil Toll EX. So maybe that was the Floatstone one active, and now it's not the Floatstone one, so now David can't freely retreat. I'm not too sure which one's active. We'll find out, I suppose. Looks like David's contemplating playing a card in hand. I can't see what it is. Looks like he's going for the VS Seeker. Maybe for that Hex Maniac once again. Just to chain those hexes. And it looks like he's going for that Hex Maniac. I actually don't think that's too big of a problem here for Matty. Yeah, so that is the Floatstone Evil Toll there. So up comes a Fighting Fury Belt 1. It's going to hit for 40 on that Reshiram. And, well, Maddie's just going to pass turn. Not being able to get out of that active position. Looks like a Dark Energy going down into that benched Yveltal. And David is clearly in the better position here. He's going to VSC for Hexmaniac again and hit for 40. And is Maddie able to draw out of it? No, he's just going to pass once again. I think he's locked there by Hydreigon's ability being turned off. So that Pitch Black Spear Yveltal is coming down on David's side of the field. Maddie needs to start drawing into something soon. If David has another VS Seeker, I think he discarded that Giovanni's earlier. If not, I think he's just played it there to get the knockout on this Reshiram. Yeah, looks like he's playing it. He hasn't drawn cards, so it looks like he's doing the extra 20. So that Oblivion Wing is now doing 60 damage with 80 already on that Reshiram. It is a knockout. And Maddie really needs to find a way to come back here. It looked like he went to retreat and then realized it wasn't the Flowstone one active. But yeah, he's going to just take a knockout. And David's now down to 3 prizes to Maddie's 6. Maddie's going to throw up a Rayquaza. The non-Mega Rayquaza here. He's got the Fire Energy in hand. If he's got like a Xerosic or something, he's going to be able to take the knockout. Maybe even a Lysander or a Shaman to just kind of bring himself back with a prize. We're going to see an Ultra Ball away, an Ultra Ball, and a Fire Energy for the Shaman. So maybe he's digging for that Lysander. Knock out that active, the bench Shaman EX, and bring himself down to 1 prize difference. And it didn't look like he drew the Lysander. He's got the energy there. He's going to play it onto the benched Mega and then Shaman to draw 1 card. Let's see the Puzzle of Time here. The VS Seeker there, which he'll probably put on top. Looks like a Puzzle of Time. It couldn't make it that final card. Alright, so it doesn't look like... Unless Maddie really wants to knock out here, it doesn't look like it's going to be a knockout. He's still contemplating what to put with that Puzzle of Time. Looks like he's going for VS Seeker. And he'll either pass his turn again or retreat to the Mega and hit for the knockout. Or at least hit for 130 because they're trying to Mega Resist down, so he doesn't necessarily have to hit for 300. But it looks like he's just going to start swinging. He isn't doing into much of anything else. It looks like he's got the Double Dragon in hand. So he's probably not too fussed about getting rid of 1 at this point. I actually don't think there's any in the discard either. So David's going to throw up this other XY Yveltal. It's already got 2 Dark Energies on it. If he can get the 30, we'll be able to hit for 100 damage, leaving that active Mega Rayquaza with 130. We're going to see the Sycamore here though from David, and he's got a couple of Ultra Balls. He's got a Target Whistle by the looks of things. So he's going to have a quick look at Maddie's discard and see if there's anything that he wants to Target Whistle. Looks like he's debating bringing that Giratina to the bench, which isn't a bad option. For Maddie, that Giratina is dead weight at this point, so it is looking like he's going to Target Whistle Giratina just to fill Maddie's bench up, preventing him from putting down like a Reshiram or something that could aid him in this match. Looks like David's debating putting the energy onto the Fright Night one, or into the EX, or into the active tier for 300, but it looks like he's just going to hit for 30 this turn and put the Dark Energy onto Pitch Black Spear Yveltal. You see the Double Dragon comes down, the VS Seeker from Maddie. Lysander's up that Yveltal EX. And Maddie's going to square it up this turn here. And a hit for that 300 damage, bringing it to 3 prizes apiece. So now David's really going to try and get something going here. He's not going to be able to one-shot this Yveltal EX, this Dragon Rayquaza, sorry, now. Yveltal EX was probably the big hitter for him, and maybe he just waited 1 turn too late. Looks like David is going to Ultra Ball for the Shaman here, getting rid of an Ultra Ball and a Puzzle of Time. think that might be all of his puzzle times gone. And he's debating playing some card. It looks like he's just going to Shaman though. It's either 3 or 4 cards. It's 5 cards. Battle Compressor from David. Probably just thinning his deck. It doesn't look like he's honestly got too much left in deck, so maybe Matty has come back from this. And Matty also has another... Oh no, that's his discard pile, sorry. I was going to say Matty does have the other Double Dragon Energy in hand, but it's his discard pile that he's looking at. So David going to get rid of a Seismitoad, Zoroark, and a Zorua. He's got another Zorua in hand. Trainer's Mail from David. Apologies for that. He's going to take the Lysander. He's already supported here. So I don't think there's actually much else David can really do here. Oh, he's going to Lysander, so maybe he hasn't supported. I thought he could play the Sycamore early in the turn, but apparently he hasn't. He's going to retreat into the Pitch Black Spear, Yveltal, hit for 60 and 60 onto the other Shaman. So really just hoping that Matty isn't able to find a way to retreat here. He is going to put the Lightning onto that other Rayquaza. Spirit Link's coming down. Switches in the Shaman out. And Matty's going down to 2 prizes here. And he's only 1 Lysander away from winning this game. So you can see the Sycamore here. So Matty's just really digging to make sure that next turn he is able to Lysander up to that Shaman for the knockout. He'll get the knockout here on this Yveltal. And then it's just a matter of having that Lysander next turn to attack. Looks like he's just going to thin his deck. I think he's only got like 2 or 3 cards left in deck. And it looks like that'll probably be it for now. Mega Turbo onto that Mega, just in case, I suppose. And a knockout. And he's flipped tails, so he can't attack with that Rayquaza next turn. Alrighty, so David's going to throw up that Yveltal. Is he able to get anything going here? 1 card stands between Matty and the game. And that's either a VS Seeker or a Lysander. I'm assuming you've got them in deck. Looks like he does only have a couple of cards left in deck as well. So it's likely that he can draw into it. And if he does, it's just a matter of retreating into the Mega. And just bringing up that Shaman. So I'm not too sure what's going on here. I think there's just something on Matty's play button. He was just cleaning it up. So Rule's coming down for David. And sorry about that cut there. The camera stopped recording. The video went too long, so it's just separated into another video. I don't think much has happened here. I don't think David's even played an energy or anything, so it was an immediate cut. Yveltal EX coming down. Double colorless by the looks of things, and probably just an Oblivion Wing here. Does Matty draw the VS Seeker to win the game here? I also think he needs the energy on that Mega Rayquaza. He could just look at retreating and passing. There isn't a possibility of David taking all 3 prize cards next turn. So he should be safe if Matty just wants to pass. Retreat into the Mega Rayquaza just to ensure that there's no KOs. Pass and then Lysander next turn. Because he needs a 1 lightning on that Mega Rayquaza to hit for the knockout. He doesn't have the Double Dragon Energy in hand, so yeah, it looks like he's just going to pass here. Apologies once again. As I stated earlier, still feeling a bit ill. I've tried to avoid coughing for the majority of the video, but it's a 40-minute game or so can't always hold it back. So Matty's got 1 card left in deck by the looks of things. And David looks to be struggling. He's only option he's considering is maybe stalling and hoping that that one card doesn't win Maddie the game. If he just leaves this XY base Evil Toll and Maddie doesn't have the VS Seeker, then he might be able to get away with this. One option David could do is Glass into that Giratina and hope that Maddie doesn't have the energy. But we know that Maddie's got an energy in hand. I think he does still. Yeah, he does have the 1-5, so it looks like he's just going to go for the Hex Maniac and play it. And that's not much of an issue. He's going to hit for 30. Maddie draws the last card in hand. He's going to VS Seeker the Lysander, switch into the Mega Ray, and hit that Shaman for 300 damage. And there it is, Matt Masefield takes a game over David Patane. So Dragon Rayquaza beat YZG, and I don't think David plays the break. That would have been a really big card in this matchup, and he doesn't play it. So Matt Masefield's going to take round number 3 here. Very interesting set. It's very interesting to see decks like this Dragon Rayquaza deck doing well at these events. It's currently at this point 3-0. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to click the like button, subscribe to Poke Australia. As I said, these videos are going to keep rolling. Probably have most of these, if not all of these, done by the end of the week, so we can start Melbourne Regionals. Unfortunately, with Melbourne Regionals, we were only able to record top 8, just because it was such a big event. We had a venue issue, so we weren't able to get set up in time. But thank you guys for watching this round, and we'll see you for the next round.